Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. Yesterday was Human Rights Day. I am so passionate about Human Rights Day. Over the years we used to call it Sharpeville Day. And, calling it Sharpeville Day has a lot of significance for me because I was born in Sharpeville. So the day was very significant for me and indeed for many other South Africans. Let me now get into the business of the day today. There are media reports that the Commissioner of the South African Police Services, Mkhwanazi, intends to take legal action against certain newspapers and other people who have been behind the concerted effort that I always talk about to tarnish his good image and probably to hound him out of the South African Police Services if they succeed. You will recall that on a number of occasions, Mkhwanazi has raised this issue that certain media houses, especially newspapers, have been weaponized against him. In other words, these newspapers or media houses spread false, one-sided information about him with the sole and intended purpose to tarnish his good image in the face of the South African public and to cast aspersions as to his suitability to be the Commissioner of Police in KwaZulu-Natal. So Mkhwanazi has had a bit too much. But one wonders why Mkhwanazi is being targeted. And for this, we have to refer to Mkhwanazi himself. What does Mkhwanazi attribute all this vendetta to? Why are these people pursuing Mkhwanazi in the relentless manner that we see them pursue him? Mkhwanazi explained it this way. There are criminal syndicates operating in the KZN province. These criminal syndicates are involved in cash in transit heists, and they are working hand in glove with some top officials in that province. So in his effort to crack down on these syndicates, to crack down on this organized crime, he is being targeted. Another thing that Mkhwanazi has brought to our attention is the fact that as a result of his efforts to fight these elements have ganged up against him to fight him. So Mkhwanazi is fighting back. Let us, as a case in point, or as an example in simple language, take the latest allegations. Whether they were allegations, we now remain unsure what they exactly were. Allegations or intentions that either IP'd or the Minister of Police were intending to charge him with the criminal offense of defeating the ends of justice. It did not end there. The offense was specified in that it was alleged that Mkhwanazi had prevented the arrest of a correctional services officer who was running a criminal drug syndicate, out of the Westville prison in Devon. A very serious allegation against a very senior official, and also involving a very top official in the Department of Correctional Services. So this news came to our attention, and the expectation was that the law would then have to take its course following these allegations to charge Mkhwanazi in that manner. But no sooner have we heard about these intentions or allegations, and we hear that neither IPD nor the minister has got anything to do with it. The whole thing just fizzles out like that. And we see IPD, kicking the ball down the road to say, in fact, the source of that information was an anonymous complainant. But it is not that simple. The news, when it broke, had a definite source. It had a definite source. It was either the minister or IPD, or both of them. So that it cannot be that all of a sudden we just see this turnaround and people just, will not take responsibility. And we are now left to go on a wild goose chase after an anonymous person laid this complaint. Now, the first thing is that complaint must be located. That complaint must be located. And once it is located, it must be disclosed to the public who made that complaint, or laid that complaint, or laid that charge if it was already at the stage of being a charge. I don't think it will turn out to be this anonymous source. But back to Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi is fed up because, these allegations are of such a serious nature that they really, in a most telling way, tarnish his image as a commissioner of police, as a provincial commissioner of police, a fairly senior police officer within the hierarchy, somebody who was also acted as the National Commissioner of Police in South Africa. The media hype might come and go, but the damage has already been done. Mkhwanazi's image, and by extension his suitability for the position of commissioner, has been tarnished by these unfounded allegations. This is why he intends to institute a civil suit to sue not only the newspapers behind this issue, who have been publishing unfounded, unsubstantiated allegations, but also against the people rather that have been pushing this. So this is not the end of it. This matter must surely go to court, because Mkhwanazi, has suffered tremendously. The loss is, immeasurable. The damage, rather, is immeasurable to his character. So the man is fighting back. So in the next few weeks or months, depends on when he takes the decision, we should be seeing legal action being instituted by Mkhwanazi to get back at these people behind these allegations. So that is, the situation as we have it today. IPID also ought to investigate itself, conduct an investigation. It has the oversight authority and the mandate to do so, to investigate and find out where all these allegations emanated from. Only then, following a thorough investigation, will the South African public be convinced that either these allegations came from IPID or the minister, or indeed from this anonymous source. But it must not only end with an IPID investigation or inquiry. There needs to be a panel established, an independent panel, a panel independent of the South African Police Services, that will look into this matter, some kind of commission of inquiry that should not take too long, just to get to the bottom of this. But I am glad for Mkhwanazi. The man is fighting back. We can all give him credit for all the crime fighting that we have seen in KZN. And, the man's track record speaks for itself. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me also thank you for the subscriptions. And let me say to you, have a pleasant day. Thank you very much.